It was like, hey, that's a bowl game. You weren't here. So then the next year, right, we did really well. It was like, all right, we got the guy.
Okay.
So then come to last season, man, we're excited. We don't have a hiccup early in terms of the first game and losing a crazy game early. But we lost that game to Northern Illinois.
Yep.
That was probably, I've been a Notre Dame fan now since 1997.
Okay.
And that loss was the absolute worst loss in my time as a fan at Notre Dame. And I think it was one of the lowest points.
Woo! Hey, it's a good day in Tampa Bay because I have a classmate of mine from Notre Dame. And many will know him. Probably, I would venture to say, probably one of the most famous Golden Domers. He is a public speaker, an author, founder of Soulster, and the first Black student to be named the Notre Dame Leprechaun. I welcome to the show my man Mike Brown. Mike, what's up, baby?
Let's go, man. What's good?
Let's go, man. I'm cheesing ear to ear, man. This is a good one. I've had some good guests, but obviously, you are a figure, especially for our class, a figure kind of like our own Obama, if you will. Mike's the man. Mike's the man.
Maybe Obama's like 10th or 11th staff member down the ring. Obama's up here. I'm like way down here.
Hey, but I told you off camera, man, you're looking younger, man. Like you look like you can still perform in a few games.
You know what? I can't fit the suit behind me anymore. Can't fit the suit because my muscles have expanded.
Okay.
But, man, I'm feeling good. I'm trying to, get ready. It's the fall that is my prime season because there's a lot of people. So I live in South Bend. There's a lot of people that come back to games. And then I do a lot of speaking during the fall because it's big time football season. And so I try to get ready for the season myself. So I don't have training camp per se or anything like that.
Right.
I try to get right for the season ahead.
So interesting enough, how was the run last year? The national championship run talk to me about that. Just take me back.
Man. So here's the deal. You got to go back even before that, right? To when Marcus Freeman got hired.
Okay.
Like that in and of itself was like, whoa. This guy had just come in, Kelly gone. And then now we got this new, fresh, young leader that's got a lot of energy. Players were excited about him. The community's all excited because he just got a lot of positive energy and positive vibes about him. And so, of course, then we lose that first game in the bowl game. But it was like, hey, that's a bowl game. You weren't here. So then the next year, right, we did really well. It was like, all right, we got the guy.
Okay.
So then come to last season, man, we're excited. We don't have a hiccup early in terms of the first game and losing a crazy game early. But we lost that game to Northern
Illinois. Yep.
That was probably, I've been a Notre Dame fan now since 1997.
Okay.
And that loss was the absolute worst loss in my time as a fan at Notre Dame. And I think it was one of the lowest points.
Woo!
And I'm talking low. We lost to Navy. So we lost to Navy a number of years ago for the first time. That loss hurt because we had beaten Navy, 100 years in a row.
Yeah.
and so, but this Northern Illinois game was just ouch. And so to go from losing that game, which ended up being one of the best things that happened to us, to then making it to the national championship, man, was just wild.
Wow.
And the other thing about it, we beat quality teams, right? So we didn't just go beating, again, teams that weren't highly rated. You're talking about beating a Georgia, beating a Penn State, right? Had great seasons. And so we beat some of the top teams. Indiana had a crazy year. And so we beat them. And so it was just it was a special year after Northern Illinois.
Correct.
But it was a special time. And I haven't seen so much positive energy and vibes on campus since that game. And just a lot of positive group chat text were happening all last year, where it doesn't always happen that way every season, but it was great.
I was watching from afar, obviously, and we lose to Northern Illinois, and I got to hear all the chatter from everybody. You know,
Oh
the
man,
hate's coming in. They'd love to see us lose.
yeah,
But the hate's coming in. And then after that, we go to smacking on teams, right? We go to smacking on folks. And then we get to the SC game, and we're smacking on SC. And I'm sitting where I'm watching the game at the house, and I'm like, man, we look really good.
yeah,
Like we looked and have looked really good. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, there aren't any teams that really like stand out. Like we're right up there with all the better teams that everybody's talking about. So I told my homeboys in the text, I'm like, yo, we got a shot.
we got a shot.
We got a
We
shot.
got a shot.
So we beat SC, right? And now we get our playoff seed. We
Yep,
start going.
Which was
Cor-
historic.
Correct.
First ever tournament, or I forget what it's called.
Yep.
First ever playoff game
Of 12.
in the new format. Yeah,
Right.
the new format.
In a new
Yep.
format. So we get our playoff seed. We start going through the playoffs. We're looking crispy. Penn State scared the crap out of me with that offensive line early. But that second half, we looked really good.
We looked good.
Right. But then that's after we smacked on Georgia.
Smacked
right?
Georgia, got in on Indiana. We're
Yep.
rolling. Yeah.
Yeah. And then national championship game, we get handled a little bit. We could have very easily bellied up. Very easily bellied up and gotten blown out yet again in the championship game. But we didn't. Marcus, the staff, the boys show fight. We made it respectable. I think we lost by 10, something around like that.
Yeah, somewhere. Yep.
Somewhere around in there. But it was respectable. Like you could hold your head high.
Right.
And it goes to your text, like, hey, Marcus is coming in with all this rejuvenated energy, and whatever the message was to the team, it lasted from the start of the season to the end.
To the very end.
To the very
Literally
end.
to the very, very end. Last play, practically. Yeah, exactly.
Now,
which is great. It's so fun.
Shoot, I can talk. Hey, I'm gonna be add me to your group text. All right, Mike. Hey, Mike. I'm me and you. All right, now listen. Let's move forward. Tell me about Mike before he got into Notre Dame. Where was Mike supposed to go?
Mike Brown was so I'm born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Mike Brown was literally from, I would say, early part of maybe high school. I was heading to Marquette. Marquette is a fantastic school located right downtown Milwaukee, private Catholic school as well. Again, not that was a main factor. It was just a matter of getting an education because I'm not Catholic.
Okay.
And so Marquette was the place. Marquette was a place I applied. I'd been there. I've been on campus in the summers. A lot of my friends from high school went there. It was right downtown, so I would still be able to be in my hometown. I'm big on family. I'm a major family and kind of village support system person. And so it was right there. Then on top of that, when I applied and got in, they gave me a full scholarship. So I was on a full scholarship. There was a program. It was an EOP program. And not only did you get a scholarship, they give you a stipend as well. So you're like that. And so that's basically what was supposed to happen. And I even had an internship that was in Milwaukee at one of the local technology companies. And I mean, pretty much I was going to go to Marquette, work for this company, and there's my life, essentially. Okay. But man, summer of 1997 or 1996, rather, summer 1996, I had that internship. I was wide-eyed, rising senior in high school. And a woman from my church, actually, and I thank God for my mom and my grandmother for constantly announcing. Anytime I would get an award in high school, they would put it into the church announcements. Okay. And so this woman from my church ended up hiring me on. She was like, "Who is this Mike Brown kid?" And she hired me onto her company to be with her company. And then I ended up sitting next to a guy on her team who was a 1983 Notre Dame grad, named Mike Peterson. I'm forever grateful to him. And he's the one that was like, "So who are you? What are you doing? Where are you going to school? How are your grades? What are you involved in?" And he just grilled. I was like, "Man, you're like, wow." And he's like, "Well, I went to Notre Dame. I think that might be a place for you to take a look at. Have you ever thought about it?" And I was like, "Where is Notre Dame?" I thought it was in Boston.
Right.
And I'm like, Notre Dame, that's like, we called it brand name.
Uh-huh.
We talked
Yep.
about brand name shoes. Like I was a Payless, and you get the Nike. So
Yep.
Notre Dame was like a brand name shoe, if you will,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So, but yeah, I ended up applying, and I got in, and it was like, whoa, okay, now what do I do? I couldn't afford to go to either Marquette or Notre Dame, and so
Mm-hmm.
it came down to the financial aid packages and looking at what the offers were. I got about a 50% scholarship to Notre Dame,
Okay.
and that made it really difficult. And so I had to call my pastor from the church, my church, and I said, I don't know what to do. I was like, I got this full ride to Marquette, I got this scholarship, partial scholarship to Notre Dame. What do I do? And he said,
Mm.
son, go with your heart. I'm like, man, what does that mean? He's like, where's your heart? And I was like, Notre Dame. And so, boom, that moment made the decision, sent the letter in, got my student loans ready,
Right.
and made that move, man. But it was so worth it. I mean, Marquette, man, I still have a lot of friends that either work there now and I go back to Milwaukee, you know, couple times a year, and so it would have been a great place. But man, Notre Dame is the experience that ended up happening, man, was just unreal, and it's something that I never imagined. If you think about it, Preston,
Yep.
I grew up in Milwaukee. I mean, again, I've traveled, quite a bit, but to be in a place where I knew no one,
No
like
one.
I didn't know a single person at Notre Dame. I hadn't even visited campus
Mm-hmm.
before I went freshman year,
Okay.
and so it was just really a foreign place. But I opened myself up to embracing what was to come and just saying, hey, I'm gonna be open to this new experience and this new environment. I think that's what made it just an incredible experience for when I got there.
It's funny you say you didn't know where it was because I didn't either. I would venture to
Yeah,
say a lot of folks who don't grow up Notre Dame folks, but I didn't even know what state it was in.
yeah, yeah,
They started recruiting me. I thought it was an all boys school. I knew nothing about it, didn't know where it was.
yeah.
you know,
There's a lot of
a
there's
lot
a
of
lot of all boys Notre Dame schools, high
right,
schools.
dude.
Yeah,
Like, man, do I have
crazy.
to wear a uniform, man? Look,
Yeah,
I'm in Florida. I got options. I don't
yeah.
have to go there.
No, you did. Which I'm actually. We gotta talk about that too. Maybe not on your, but man, how, dude? If I had, as I look back and reflect on college
Yep.
and my journey through college, I think about
Yep.
my undergrad, then I got my master's. I'm like, why in the world did I not go
Two.
to somewhere in Florida?
Mm.
I'm like,
And
what, like what? Like, I could have gone here. I could have gone
dude,
anywhere, man. I actually grew up a
why?
Florida State fan. I grew up a Florida State fan, man.
Okay, so
Um,
I grew up a Gator.
ooh, ooh.
Yes, I grew up a Gator, and it was so for real. And I've said this on a few podcasts. Florida State is really well, all big three recruited me. Florida State recruited me the hardest.
Okay,
I got a scholarship offer from Florida State only. Miami and Florida did not offer me. So as
okay.
far as
Wow.
playing big time ball in the state, Florida State was my only option. And because I grew up a Gator, that we weren't putting on Garnet the gold. So it was out of
It
state.
it
We had
it
to go.
wasn't even
It wasn't even an option, bro. We're not putting on Garnet the gold.
yeah,
But
right.
leaving the state of Florida, was a little difficult. And just going north was difficult.
Yeah,
But the objective was always how can I get to a league? My
right.
best opportunity, and then back then when we were playing, your we Notre Dame had the freaking the TV
The
contract
TV, you're on every week, national
every
TV.
week. It was a massive selling point back then, a massive
Yeah,
selling point. My folks from coast to coast could see me play all the time.
every
Yeah,
time.
that ain't that difficult for me to figure out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. It wasn't. There weren't many places. Heck,
correct,
almost nowhere where it was a nationally televised game each
right,
and every week.
each
It
and
was
every
definitely a
week,
big selling point, which worked out for me too. I was on TV
absolutely.
every week as well.
And let's talk about it. So let's talk about it. What even interested you in going to the Leprechaun tryout? And then tell me what was part of the Leprechaun tryout? What did the Leprechaun tryout entail?
So my roommates at Notre Dame, and this was in mainly my sophomore year. We're at a football game in the fall, and they were like, Mike, I've got a lot of energy. I'm excited. I mean, I dove into. I'm a big sports person anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
I fully embraced the Notre Dame experience from beginning to end, all
Okay.
the whole thing, including football. So they were the ones who looked, they know me for 2 years at that point, or a year and a half. And they were like, Mike, you should try out. You should be on that field. You should, go for that Leprechaun spot. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I didn't grow up a Notre Dame fan. I don't know all the Notre Dame history. I'm like, I barely know the fight song. I don't know the alma mater. I'm like, I don't know. And so it actually it's interesting, man. Just like kind of like the Marquette situation, almost in a sense. I actually at the time that they were telling me and suggesting I do it,
Right.
Notre Dame was growing their study abroad program,
Okay.
and they were like doubling the number of students that were going to Paris, to London. And so I was like, man, I want to go abroad. And so
Right.
I applied to get into the London program. And man, I wasn't accepted into the program. And that was
Okay.
February. I actually keep the letter. I should have it right here. I keep that letter because I called it my London letter.
Okay.
And so when I wasn't accepted into that program, that's when I said, okay, I'll try out. I'll see how it goes. And whatever. If I get it, great. If I don't, it's all good. It wasn't a
Right.
dream of mine growing up.
Right.
And man, I go to the tryout, you think about it. I think there were 9 people that year.
Okay.
There were 9 people that year, and a couple of the guys were legacy. They were sons of Notre Dame, right, grads, and a few of the guys had red beards, the whole nine.
The whole nine.
What people would imagine or think is Leprechaun. And so I'm like, man, I don't know. We'll just see how it goes.
Okay.
But for tryouts, you get put into 4 different scenarios. One, you have to lead a mock pep rally, and so you get the tryouts are open. They're in a
Okay.
gymnasium on campus, and everybody invites everyone, right? All
Okay.
their friends, dorm mates, etc. But you lead a mock pep rally. They say it's the first game of the year. What you're going to do? So you
Okay.
lead a pep rally as though it's the first one. So they see how you do that. Then they put you in a Leprechaun situation where you don't have a mic.
Okay.
So they'll put you in front of a crowd where you don't have a mic, and you got to do something to get the crowd fired up, but you can't talk to them. And then they'll put you in a situation where you have a mic, but there's some type of issue that happens, right? So you're
Okay.
at a pep rally, at an away game at USC. All these Notre Dame fans are there, ready for the pep rally, but the team is 20 minutes late.
Okay.
And so what do you do to kill that time? And they kind of put you in these situations to kind of see how you'll respond. They'll have a kid come up to you and take your hat. How do you respond to the kid doing that? And so those are some of the situations you get put in. And then you do a mock media interview. And so
Okay.
they have someone in town who's a media personality that will come in and interview the Leprechaun, because you don't wear an actual mascot head.
Right.
And those questions were around, well, who should be the head coach? Or should a woman be able to be the Leprechaun? Or there was one question, and this was the question that I think in my tryout that, like, quite candidly, I felt the most comfortable and knew I probably had a shot. But
Okay.
they asked me who they said Notre Dame had a quarterback that started, and that starting quarterback got injured. The backup quarterback's coming in. What do you think about him?
Okay.
I said, he's going to crush it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we're going to put up 80 points with him.
Right.
And I said, if he doesn't crush it, I'm coming in as quarterback. I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, ready, set, go, Irish guys, go, Irish. The crowd went crazy. It was just like, that was the moment, because it's all organic. There's no
Right.
planning for
Right.
that. I happened to play quarterback in high school. I was like, you know what? If the second string gets hurt, I'm coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the quarterback. And then boom, it was just like, it turned into a whole cheer. Crowd went crazy. And that was really the moment where I felt like, wow, I probably got a shot. There's 2 spots. There were 2 spots back then. And I was like, maybe,
Okay.
maybe. And
Okay.
so then the last piece is an interview that you have with, there's a panel of judges, and they basically, you go in a room and they ask you questions, and you interview with those panel of judges. But so it's a series of things that go on. But it's so fun. Even the tryout itself It's a
Right.
lot of fun, man. Your
Right.
friends are there. I mean, you're trying out to be a mascot, right?
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
it's a pretty you could consider it low pressure, have fun. Again, depending on how you go into it. 'Cause I went into it with low pressure, no
Yep.
expectation situation. So I just had fun. And
Okay.
so but yeah. So and then I got it. I won. It was like, whoa. Everything went well. And that at that time they would post the results
Okay.
outside of the Joy Center.
Okay.
And so they say, "Oh, it'll be ready after 10 o'clock or so. We'll post them." I'll never forget my roommate Sam Birdsong. We we went over together and I saw the list and it said varsity Leprechaun Mike Brown, and I was just like, "Whoa, like that
Whoa.
happened." It was like that happened, and,
Whoa.
and from that moment, Preston, you talk about at the time we didn't have cell phones, okay?
Yep.
So you gotta. I'm showing my age a little bit, but man, you had the block phones, and then there was a red blinking light that would
Yep.
start blinking when you got a voicemail, and man, that phone was blinking pretty much through the rest of the school year because there were media outlets, man. There were media outlets that were constantly calling, wanting the interviews, radio stations, television stations, newspapers. It was just a constant influx of, man, you're like the first Black leprechaun in Notre Dame's history. What's that like? How was the process? And it all of a sudden it was like, whoa, like I'm in practically right the spotlight.
Right.
And and so but again, I embraced it and I answered questions authentically. I was myself. I was like, well, I
Right.
didn't know I wasn't expecting anything. And then yeah, and that just started a whole ride, man. The spring game was a lot of fun. First season we weren't good. We were 5-7 my first year, no bowl
Mhm.
game. I'm like,
Mhm.
wait a minute. The year I win is when we decide to not play well at home for the bowl game. I'm like, I'm supposed to be somewhere. I'm supposed to be somewhere in Florida. Give me
Right.
the Gator Bowl or something. And man, I was at home like, man. But then senior year, we ended up having a great season and went to the Fiesta Bowl, which we won't talk about how that ended. But
Oh.
but it was a great year. But I just think that first year was a year where I didn't know what I was doing, it was almost a good thing in that I just really focused on having fun. And even though we were losing,
Mhm.
that's where that creativity and that working on the fly, we'd be down by 20, 25. Yeah, 8 minutes to go in the game, right?
Right.
And there you could, but
Yep.
it's like, what you gonna do? But then
Yep.
there were some games where we did get blown out. It's like, what you gonna do? I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go over to the band. Let's get the band fired up. Let's do a cheer with the band. Then I would go to a certain part of the student section. The freshmen are always energetic. Boom, let me go to them. Then I would go to the other side of the stadium where fans
Mhm.
were. And I would say, hey, everybody, let's go. We're still in it. So I tried to keep the energy and the spirit up, even though in the back of my mind, heck, in the front of my mind, I knew we were going to lose.
Right.
But I think that's the responsibility, right, of
Mhm.
the leprechaun. Positive energy, good vibes, no matter what throw the odds. You're bringing that every day, all day at games, when you're visiting hospitals. We did a lot of hospital visits, met with
Right.
patients.
Right.
When you're going to schools, when you're out on campus leading different mini rallies across campus, you're bringing that positive energy and that positive vibe. And some people could say, "Oh, you got to turn something on," but I think a lot of being the leprechaun is that you don't. A lot of it's got to be just part of you and part of your being,
Okay.
where there is no. I mean, yeah, you got to maybe be a bit more excited than you might be just going to campus or going to class at 8 a.m. But in general, man, at least one of the things that I look for when I've been a judge or a panelist for Leprechaun tryouts.
Okay.
I look at it being part of someone's being, if you will. So
Mhm.
there, you can coach someone on leading cheers. You
But
can
it's gotta
coach
be in them.
someone,
It's gotta
but
be in them
I'm
already.
sorry, it's got to
It's
be in
got
you.
it's gotta be in you.
It's that yeah, it's that thing. It's that thing. So
Yeah.
anyhow, man, I'll talk about that all day. But it was an
Now,
incredible experience.
go back to the trials. There was a time when you felt a little discouraged, like, "Yo, I this might not work out."
Yeah.
What What was that? What happened?
Yeah, so during the tryouts, I mentioned you meet with a panel of judges and they have a conversation around they'll ask you about why you want to be the mascot, you know, what inspired you to do it, how will you manage your class schedule, right?
Okay.
Because it's pretty travel intensive. So they'll ask you questions like that.
Yep.
But one of the questions, man, that had me, I was pretty pissed. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty pissed off.
Okay.
But it was a question that said, the guy asked, "We're thinking about putting a head on the mascot next year, because the leprechaun doesn't wear a head right now. It's
Yep.
your face, and you wear a hat."
Right.
And they're like, "We're thinking about putting a head on the mascot next year. You know what do you think about that?" And I had to really, really pause because I, part of me was like, "Are you kidding me?
Right.
Are you like you mean to tell me if I win first black leprechaun, you gonna put a head on it?" I'm
Yep.
like, dude, that's gonna be like I'm gonna be upset. Now I said those words in a little
Okay.
more gentle way,
Yeah.
but man, it really pissed me off. And then yeah, it discouraged me because I was like, man, like even though I may possibly be one of the top candidates, the best they'll probably do is put me again. Not that being number two is bad, but you're a competitor,
Yep.
you want to be DB1. It
Yep.
ain't you ain't DB2. You're on the
Yep.
strong side.
Yep.
So you want to take the best receiver on. But nonetheless, it was definitely discouraging in that I was like, man, well, maybe I'll be number two. Did I answer that question appropriately? Because I said yes, I would still do it. I said it might cause some controversy in terms of now that you have a first black leprechaun, you're gonna put a head on the dude. Like
Right.
that would be nuts.
That's silly.
So it would be come on, man. It would have been silly. So that was the one time when I was definitely discouraged around it. And it was like, if that happens, man, like it just wouldn't be good
Yeah,
uh,
man.
for all the reasons. Well, for the reason that I'm black.
Yep.
And the first leprechaun I do it. So anyhow, but
Well,
yeah,
people have a hard time with change, right?
yeah,
And especially a historic place like Notre Dame. And I have told people this all the time. Like when I played, when I attended Notre Dame, I don't think that I really appreciated what was going on because that's not my background. That's not how I was raised. I didn't grow up bleeding blue and gold like that. You know, you meet folks who their whole families,
yeah,
they're generational Notre Dame folks. They grow up just wishing they could attend Notre Dame. They
right,
just step on campus and it's like, yo, this is the best place ever. You meet that fandom or that religion, if you will. So when I was
right,
there, and you may know the saying when I was there, it's not the place to be at, it's the place to be from. Okay. That's what we
yeah,
always used to say, and especially us who didn't grow up in that culture. And people don't like change. So now
right,
you take the leprechaun, who is a figurehead of Notre Dame, period. Like there's nothing else you think about. Like the logo and the leprechaun go together.
you
You know
go
what I
together.
mean? They just go together. Now that leprechaun's got a different hue to the skin tone. Folks are a little shell shocked with that. It
Yeah,
just happens. So
it happens.
when shell shock happens and things are different, people start to verbalize stuff in their disgust, in their uncertainty what change looks like,
Right.
in our figurehead now looks a little bit different. Did you experience any kind of racism during your time as the leprechaun?
Yeah, great question. You're right. Change is always difficult, especially
Absolutely.
at Notre Dame, man. You think about it, it's a place that's now been around for
Oh,
180 over 180 years now. And so
crazy.
started as an all men's school
Hmm.
and you know it's evolved, but it's evolved. It took a long time. Women were
Hmm.
just admitted right 72. I
Mm.
want to say. And so I I didn't directly,
Okay.
okay, experience, I'll say, any derogatory comments that were directed at me in my face. As I went around, I went to a lot of places, a lot of
Hmm.
tailgates, and met so many people throughout the games. I didn't directly experience anything, and nor did I get any, nasty emails or even calls. I did get more, I'll say, once removed type of comment. So I think a few people wrote letters to the cheerleading office
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
the Leprechaun's part of the cheer squad, cheerleading team,
Right.
and they were asking the coach, "Hey, how could this happen? This guy doesn't look like the Leprechaun. his beard isn't red, and what's going on there. So she did tell me that, just so I was aware of it. And then there were some friends of mine who were in the crowd, right? They were
Mhm.
in the stands, and they would hear whispers of people like, "Man, what black leprechaun's black? What's up with that?" But
Right.
no one told me directly. And I think it was just a different time in terms
Mhm.
of people being. There was no Twitter, there was no social media where you could be more attacked
Right.
without being face to face, and so because that's happened more recently with some people, right? Who there was a woman who became the first leprechaun, another guy who became the second black leprechaun. Black student was a leprechaun, and they received way more uh, they experienced way more racism and negative feedback because they were so accessible, right, through
Right.
social
Correct.
media. But one thing that helped, man, I gotta tell you, number one, I was myself, and I think I brought a lot of energy and positive vibes to the environment. I think
Yep.
that's just what people soaked up. But two, my cheer coach, Joe Minton, when I first got the role, and she was telling me about these emails coming in, or letters, physical letters, she said,
Yep.
"Mike, always remember, you've got blue and gold blood just like everybody else."
Yeah.
And that quote, man, it really, to this day, it sticks with me because I even I remind 'em. I mean, there's different scenarios that you can bring that type of vibe or energy to, and it's
Yep.
like, even when I talk to students right now who maybe feel like they don't fit in or doing something for the first time, I'm like, you got blue and gold blood just like everybody else. You're part of the ND family.
Yeah.
You're in. Like, come on. And
Yeah.
so, but those words really stuck with me. But again, I think because of the we're in a society right now, Preston, where people don't care. They will come to your house and tell you how they feel.
Yeah.
Social media, man, people just get on another level in terms
Bro.
of their comments and everything. So it was just a little bit of a different time. There wasn't really that medium to do things that way. And I think that's what played a little bit of a part for me, not directly necessarily experiencing racism. Long-winded answer to your question, but
Nope. Nope. It was a good one though. So on the other side, there is the good side about being
yeah,
the leprechaun, and that's you're part of the cheer team. And what comes with being with the cheer team is having access to the cheer leaders,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I tell the story to anybody, they like, when your name comes up, Mike Brown it's my favorite go-to story, man. I meet Mike Brown and I'm a young freshman and we're at this somebody's apartment party.
Yeah.
Mike Brown the leprechaun rolls up, baby. And everybody, everybody loves Mike.
Make sure my wife
Mike,
isn't watching this.
Mike's a celebrity. Like for Mike's a celebrity, bro. Mike's a celebrity. But Mike don't roll up by himself, man. Mike Brown rolls up with two supposedly cheerleaders,
Cheerleaders, friends, man. Cheer
friends.
friends.
All right, they're cheer friends. And we're just like, dang, it'd be nice to be the leprechaun, man, because Mike has all the chicks on the cheer team.
Mhm.
So take me by, take me, take me, take me to the without being a guy's guy conversation. Just
Yeah, yeah.
how is it being with the cheerleaders a lot?
Okay, all right. I gotta first of all, I'm not sharing this with my wife. Number one, but number one, but two, yeah. So there historically, right, has been in general, right, a negative connotation with a man, right, being part of the cheerleading team.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
It's just not
so
manly. It's not masculine.
it's not manly. And what you
Yeah.
come to find out is that it's, man, you got to be in good shape. You're
Hmm.
tossing, like, it's a lot of stuff that goes into it, where some of the most athletic people I know have been cheerleaders.
Hmm.
Nonetheless, man. So yeah, you're part of this squad, and you're talking about, man. It's like we had two teams, and I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. It was like 20 women that were part of this, and good looking, great personality. Think about it. It's cheerleaders. So we're all positive,
Correct.
spirited,
Yeah.
friendly.
Yep.
And so it was fantastic to be part of that crew, and I'm still, great friends with,
Mhm.
I'd say at least a quarter of the women that were part of that squad. And but it was, man, it was an unbelievable experience. But yes,
Yeah.
you had some good looking people that you were walking
Yep.
around with and hang out with.
Yep.
Not bad to look at and be
Right.
around, which
Easy
was
on the
fantastic.
eyes.
Yeah, easy on the eyes, and so that was great.
Yep.
And you had some crush. I had a couple crushes in there where
Yeah, of
it didn't
course.
pan out, but yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing I tell people that's a little bit of a sleeper, Preston, on
Okay.
campus is, so there are how many players on the football team?
Well,
Football
you're gonna get 85 scholarship players, and then you'll have walk-ons and stuff like that. You're over 100. You're about
You're over
105.
100.
Yep.
105 men
Yep.
who people love, they're
Yep.
attracted to, in shape, great personalities as well.
Most of
There's
us. Yeah.
105.
Hundred
Most. Yeah, a chunk. Uh, but 105 people, man. And I tell people all the time, there's only one leprechaun.
It's
Yeah,
only one
and
leprechaun.
dude, people, supply and demand is what I'll call it. A lot of supply of football players, but
Yep.
only one leprechaun. I'll give a shout out to CJ as well. CJ was a leprechaun too, there too. And he ended
Okay.
up actually, CJ was what they call Olympic squad leprechaun, who focused a lot on the women's basketball, soccer, volleyball type games.
Okay.
And he ended up marrying one of the cheerleaders, Jenny
Okay.
Klein. So yeah, there's yeah, but yeah, it was one to two leprechauns compared to 105 football players. So that was definitely an econ. That was an econ problem that I could solve, if
Yeah.
you will.
Supply and
So
demand,
supply
baby.
demand.
Supply and demand. Now, you talk, hey, and we were talking not too long ago. Notre Dame getting blown out, right?
Yeah,
Sucks. Happened. I was part of a lot of enough of those blowout games in my playing days. But at the same time, there are moments where you, being a part of that cheer squad, have experienced some of the best games. Okay.
man.
So give it 2 seconds, and I want you to tell me one of the best games that you were a part of that you experienced as being the Leprechaun on field.
On field. On field. I'll never forget it. It's
Okay.
a game. I think it was in 19. Gosh, I forget. Notre Dame played Nebraska,
Okay.
and Nebraska came
We're
and
at
played.
home. My
We're
that
at,
that's we're in Notre Dame, right?
we're at Notre Dame.
That's my freshman year.
Notre Dame's coming in, so
Yep.
you vividly, I suspect, remember
Yep.
that game.
Yep.
And man, I think, was it Eric Crouch?
Eric Crouch. Yep.
Eric Crouch was the
Heisman
quarterback
Trophy.
in Nebraska. He ended up winning the Heisman.
Yep.
And man, they came in. They filled our stadium with red, and it was awful. I hated
Yes,
that.
it was awful.
But man, the energy for
Yeah.
that game, the pep rally the night before, it was so crazy that they actually held the pep rally in the stadium the
Oh,
Friday night
wow.
before. And so it was in the stadium. There were some people in town. And that game, man, we didn't play our best game that
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Julius Jones, running
Tony
back,
Fisher.
kickoff.
Yep.
So Julius Jones, Tony Fisher, running backs.
Yep.
Two moments that happened that I just vividly remember is when Julius Jones ran back a kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
And he ran it, took it to the house, and it was like we went crazy. We're jumping on each other. It was like, oh snap! So, and then I think we're down again, and it's just like, man, it's a struggle. And then Joey freaking Getherall,
Joey G.
Joey G runs gets a punt return and runs it back. And we're going crazy again, man. So we ended up losing the game. But those were just moments, man, where they say, what though the odds, be great or small? We were down in both of those scenarios, and we were thinking, it's getting tight. But then that kick return, punt return just changed the whole dynamic of the game. And it just went from like, to like, boom. That game, though, I would also tell you, man, it was probably almost going to be my last game because it went to overtime.
It did. Sure did.
And Eric Crouch, they were on the Notre Dame side of the field for one of their possessions, like where the student section is.
Yeah.
And where cheerleaders were set up.
Okay.
And he ran, I don't know if he did a bootleg, he did a Heisman moment thing. but he scored, and it was right in front of the student section.
Okay.
But I was right there, and I wanted to trip him so bad. I wanted to get on the field, man. I was like, on the field and like, give him a little, man, because he ran right by us. You could probably watch the film. I think you can see us in the screen, and it's like, man, he went right in front of us. Game over. And I was like, man, I could have made a trip, but that would have been my last game, my last game as Leprechaun. I would have had. They probably wouldn't even let me keep the suit after that.
Oh man!
But I wanted the triple.
Oh, that was good, man. Yes, that was, and that was, I think, the first time. Let me not say that because I know that'd be fact. However, we moved up in the rankings after losing that game. After losing that game, we moved up in the rankings. And I remember a couple of days before, like tickets were going for like thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah.
And students were selling it, and I don't blame them now. I'm like, bro, but folks they're coming in. And when they show, like when you see the TV copy and you see all the red in the stadium, it's disappointing as being, you're playing. But now at my age, you're like, I don't know what to tell you. Them students, them tickets were going for thousands.
Hey man, we got keg parties to get ready for, dude. Come on,
Bro,
we got
right.
Hey, it's something expensive. That's Smirnoff.
That was a good game. All right, so now you know enough Irish football history that you have, when you get to the bars or you're hanging out and with the boys, you guys are going to talk Irish football at some point. There's got to be somebody that you talk about as the greatest Irish football player.
Yeah.
In your opinion, who's that person?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that's greatest. Well, man, I know. So what's happened over the last?
Or let's go favorite. Let's go favorite, because greatest is gonna be hard for you. Let's go your personal favorite. Your personal favorite.
Well, I gotta say, right, my personal favorite, because I followed him before I was a Notre Dame fan.
Okay,
is the Rocket Ishmael.
Good one. Good pick.
He's my favorite because I followed him, and right, I was a punt returner.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was a shifty right player, slot back type person. And so he was definitely probably my favorite player. And this is, again, like I say, because of how long I've witnessed him, because before was I even Notre Dame fan.
Okay.
And so I would almost, look, sorry, Grand Irons, sorry, Jerome, sorry. I know a lot of these guys now.
Yeah.
Bettis, I know a lot of these guys now, but he's up there. And I would say kind of very tight. So you got the Rocket, who's right there, Preston.
Okay.
I got to give the Rocket some love.
Yep.
Number 2, close.
Okay.
Close. I'm talking here and here.
All right.
Preston Jackson.
Boom.
He was a beast. He was a beast.
Made the show right there, baby.
Right there. Made the show. Right there.
Made the show, baby.
Right there.
Made the show, man. Made the show. I like to call myself a good player. I played like you perform. A lot of energy. Like, I love the game. It showed on the field. So, I thank you.
Yeah, well, the other thing about you, I'll tell you, man, because I'm big into, one of the reasons I was a big Florida State fan is because of how the swagger that they played with.
Yep.
Charlie Ward in particular, man. I used to wear my jersey like him. It was folded. Derek Brooks, Ward Dunn. I love those guys.
Yeah.
And how they were swagged out and how they just played very savvy. Yep. And that's kind of where you were. You were in that savvy. I'm gonna take you. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta be in my perfect tight. No, I'm taking you. So you had that swagger to you.
That's swag.
Yeah, man. Again, you can't teach it.
Yeah,
you can't.
You gotta be with it.
You gotta have it. Yeah. So yeah.
Let's have a little fun here. All right, here we go. Have a little fun. We got Notre Dame running backs. Okay. Oof. Now the given is Julius Jones, which is, I'm just a massive Julius Jones fan. Is my guy. I love watching Julius play. So he's going to be the given.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh my
I'm going to
gosh.
give you a handful of other running backs that you can select over Julius, or you keep Julius. So it's going to be Julius Jones or
Oh
fill in the blank. And you got to take the fill in the blank or Julius Jones.
man. There's some beasts out there, man. There's some Hall of Famers on that list.
Now, here we go. Now, you can provide context why you're selecting this person or not. But we're going to go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Julius Jones or Archer Denson.
Ha ha! AD, man, you can't do
AD.
that. I got
AD.
AD was a running back my freshman year, sophomore year, man. He had to flip. Oh man.
Yeah, buddy.
Look, here's the thing. All right.
Yep.
I'm only gonna pick Autry because he like went he had a lot of carries. He was beast mode. He had the grind. He was shifty, like I was talking about with the Rocket. Again, I love Julius, man. If he's watching, man, I love you, dog. You 22. I wore 22 when I was in Pee Wee League, man. I love, man. I'm a huge fan. But dude, I got to give it to Autry, just
Okay.
because, yeah, like that swagger. He wore 23, which is one of my favorite numbers as well. And yeah, he's a beast too. So I got to go Autry over.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Julius Jones or Alan Pinkett.
See, I know Allen as well. And this is just messed up because I've
This is
gotten to know a
torture.
lot of guys over time. And look, I know Allen is a beast. I know he's a beast. I know. I mean, I didn't grow up right watching him per se, but I've
Okay.
seen his film and I've gotten to know him as a human being, and
Yeah.
he's a great guy. All
Yep.
right, but Julius, man, has to get the edge. That
Okay.
speed factor,
Yeah.
dude. He coming out the backfield, he's gone.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give Julius that edge on that one. Sorry, Alan, you're my guy. All right. If I see you tailgating this fall, I got you. It's on me.
Fair. All right. Julius Jones or Darius Walker.
Oh man, what?
Let's go.
Kidding me?
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's go.
kidding me right now?
Let's go.
Are you kidding me?
This is a good one. It's a good one.
Whew.
It's a good one.
All right. Here's the deal, man. I've now gotten to know Darius. We worked
Yep.
together for a minute. I love the work he's doing now, positive vibes he's putting out. I know his wife, Margaret,
Yep.
like, woo! All right, here's the deal. And this is, you know why? Okay, I'm gonna go with Darius. I'm gonna go with D-Walk.
We're gonna go with
Sorry,
D-Wall.
Julie.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Okay.
Darius. But here's why. Here's why.
Okay.
When I grew up playing NCAA football,
Mhm.
okay, NCAA football, the single back formation was my favorite formation.
Okay.
And Darius was always in that single back formation where he would get that screen pass, go up the middle, go to wing. And so, plus he was number 3, and I felt like I was him. Like I felt like I, in my mind at least, was a single back, Darius Walker, shifty type person.
Okay.
And so I felt like I was him. And that's why I gotta say D-Walk. Plus, he had a swagger to him as well.
He did.
It's just
Georgia
something about
boy.
him. Yeah.
Yep.
What's up?
He came from Georgia. He was a Georgia boy.
Georgia boy, Georgia dude. And I saw again, it sounds weird, but I saw myself in him, in my mind as a football player, although I was nothing like him as a football player. I saw myself in him. And then that single back formation, man, with him, he had that big at Pitt. He had that
Yep.
huge, I think it was
Yeah,
like
big
second
game.
game. He had a big game. He had that long screen pass. I think it was like an 80-yard run. And I was at that game, man. We had a lot of fun. So, man, I got to give it to D-Walk.
Yeah,
Sorry,
crazy thing
Julie.
about Darius, man. Darius game, I think I was either my 5th year or I think my 5th year. He came in as a freshman. I think it was my 5th year. And we had Ryan Grant at the time, and Ryan had come off a 1,000-yard season. And now Ryan had to share time with Darius, who came in as a big-time recruit. And for
Right.
anybody out there, when they put that number 3 jersey on you, like you got to be the man
You
because
have to.
that's the Montana number, right? That's the
Right.
Montana number. You get that number 3, but at least back in my day, in our day, that number
It's
3
still,
meant something.
it's still
So,
to that.
Okay, good. So when they put that number 3 jersey on, you got to be the man. So Darius comes in as a freshman, gets number 3. We get into our first practices with pads, and Darius, he ain't fast like we're used to. Ryan Grant was fast. Julius
Right.
Jones was fast.
Fast.
Tony
They were
Fisher was
fast.
fast. They were
Right.
fast.
There
Darius
you
was
go.
in comparison, Darius was slow. All right.
Right.
However, right. No. Crazy though. I said
Yeah.
it's relative, right? Because relative to what we're used to. Darius never got tackled by one person.
Yeah.
Never. The first game, I can't remember who he played, but his freshman season, he got some playing time in the first game. I think a lot of playing time in the first game. And he never went down by the first tackle. So now we're like, yo, this young buck ain't bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
He wasn't necessarily busting runs out for 40 and 50 yards, but he would never get tackled for negative yards. He always fall forward. It take 2 or 3 guys to take him down. So now we're as seniors, this is our last season. He's sharing time with our guy Ryan Grant. And like, yo, and when the young boy gets in there, we're like, all right, we're not losing off one another. Darius is gonna get us a first down.
He will.
And then he gets better and then better and better and better. And he turns into, at the end of the season, he turned into a fantastic running back for our senior year. And then obviously the rest is history, the records that he set going on. So that's a good one for Darius.
I was Darius Walker fan from day one. You'll laugh because I was like, not fanboying, but like when we started working together about I guess it's 10 years ago now. And I met him. I was like, dude, it's the Darius Walker.
Darius Walker,
I
man.
was like, oh my gosh, how you doing, man? I'm trying to play cool. But I was just a huge fan. I'm still a huge fan of him as a person as well. But yeah, he, like you say, you couldn't take him down with the first hit from here. He was gonna, and he could do it all, right? I thought of him as, so I grew up liking this guy, Eric Metcalf. I don't remember Eric Metcalf, but a lot of these players who kind of like the Rocket, who can play different spots and they can run up the middle. They can go on the outside. They can catch the pass out of the backfield. And he was kind of that guy. He had that package for that I was a big fan of. So plus he was good in Madden.
We got 2 more. Here we go.
Oh, geez.
Julius Jones or Jerome Bettis?
Preston.
Load it up.
All right. Julius is only at 1 out of 3 so far?
1 out of 3.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on. It's the bus, man. Come on.
It is the bus.
The bus coming through. The bus, again, I'm giving the Rocket just because of, it more connects with me, right? In terms of all-time favorite. But the bus, just a different beast, just a different animal. So I'm going to go with Jerome Bettis, okay? And it's hard I'm challenging myself on this because I got to focus on the college career, to be honest with you. I'm trying to put myself in the collegiate realm, not necessarily NFL realm. But man, you busting through. I mean, you ain't stopping this dude. And I mean, he's built like a linebacker.
Right.
But as a running back coming through, and so that's it's a bus. It's a train that's coming through, man. And you're not gonna stop it either. Again, Julius, you're my guy. All right. You can be on my team, man. I'm sorry, but I gotta go Jerome, dog. Oh, watch I see him. Watch I see him like the first game of the year. He's gonna be in town. He's gonna walk right by me and give me a look. And I'm not gonna know what to do, man.
I heard Mike. I heard what you said on the podcast. I heard what you said. All right,
You're my guy. You got us to the Fiesta Bowl, man. You're my guy. Come on.
You got one chance to redeem yourself. Here we go.
All right.
Julius Jones or Jeremiah Love?
Ooh. What are you doing?
Let's go.
What are you doing? I know Jeremiah Love. I know his dad, Jason.
Okay.
And he's a beast right now. He had one of the all-time greatest runs in Notre Dame history.
Yes, sir. Be careful,
where he
Mike.
took on 8 players at once or something. I think I think he went through 8 people on that run at the goal line. Was that Penn State? I think it was Penn State.
Yes, I think it was Penn State. That was I think that was in the semis.
And man, I saw something special in him his freshman year. He didn't get a lot of reps, but when he did get in, I saw something special in Jeremiah Lyle. Like this dude, like he's legit. He was number 12 freshman year. I'm stalling because I gotta
Mm.
I'm gonna see his dad. I'm gonna see him on campus. And he see, I'm gonna go with Julius on this one, man. I'm gonna
Okay.
go with Julius on this one because there is that speed factor. And I gotta say, speed kills.
Speed
You know,
kills.
they say speed kills. And so if I had a team and I had to pick either Julius Jones or Jeremiah Love, respectfully,
Okay.
respectfully, respectfully, Jeremiah, because I because I know you might blow up. You're gonna blow up, man. I know you're gonna blow up. But respectfully, I'm gonna go with Julius
Okay.
because I need someone who's gonna legit fly.
Okay.
I need someone who's gonna legit fly. And he can do the punt returns, kick returns, all around versatile player. Not that Jeremiah isn't, but I gotta go Julius. I'm gonna go Julius on that
All right. Well, hey, Notre Dame running
one.
backs near and dear to your heart.
I know all those guys,
You
man. What you doing?
look at that. See, look at that. Come on, man. That's fantastic. Hey, you did good. You did real well.
Huh.
You balance it out. You know what? You balance it out. I gotta give you all that credit, bro.
Man, those are tough because
All
they're
right.
all beasts. They're all beasts,
I
man.
know that was a good crew.
We've had some. I mean, we've had some dogs, man. It's been. I love it, and I'm a big running back fan. Like
Yep.
I thought I was going to be a running back all my life. Like that was my position. And like I said, I wore 22 as a kid, and then I switched to 12 and 18 when I became a quarterback.
Okay.
But yeah, man, running backs are my jam. Like
There you
I
go.
hope they never go away. It's getting a little tricky with these 7-on-7 leagues and
That's true.
all this flag football stuff happening. So we'll see how long they make it, but we'll see. But
All
I'm
right.
a running
Well,
back guy.
we're gonna close this out, and before I want you to talk about what you have going on, something near and dear to your heart with the Little Netta's Gift Author Visit Program. Tell us about that.
Yes. So 2020, Preston, is when really this journey started on this
Okay.
front. So 2020 is a year where it was global health pandemic. There was a lot of hate, more very visible and vocal hate,
Mm-hmm.
political divide, and then social injustices. I would say there was a heightened awareness of them. They've been going on for all our life,
Uh-huh.
forever.
Right.
But so I was trying to really find my place. I was trying to figure out what can I do in this moment, how can I, add some value to our world from where I am?
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't protesting, I wasn't out marching. I don't post a lot on social media about political stuff. But what I found was I spread positive vibes, I spread positive energy. And so I wanted to then share a positive story. And
Okay.
so my cousin, my late cousin, her name was Janetta. Her nickname was Lil Netta. She's
Okay.
5 years older than me. She turned 6 on December 27th. And at her 6th birthday party, which is right after Christmas, there were some friends at her party who didn't get gifts for Christmas. So she ended up giving away her gifts to those friends
Okay.
at her party, which
Wow.
at 6 years old is pretty crazy.
It's
People
wild.
don't do that at 80,
Right.
45 years.
Right.
So that's a story that I felt was a story that needed to be shared in that moment. We needed some positive, some compassion, right? Kindness to each other. And so I ended up wanting to share that story and I put it into the form of a children's book.
Okay.
And so that's the children's book that I ended up writing. And I published it in 2021. And it's just been a beautiful journey. That book then kicked off the start of my company now,
There we
company
go.
called Bolster. And so what I'm doing now, though, is with that book, and now that I'm out and traveling more, is I've created this program where I go into schools, mainly underserved schools, and so I visit those schools. But not only do I visit them as an author, but I also work, and this is where I work with sponsors to help make this possible. But I work to give a copy of that book to every student at the school.
Okay.
And so when I'm at the school, whether it's in a gymnasium, at an assembly, I call them literacy rallies that I host. Got to bring my
Okay.
leprechaun spirit
Yep.
to the
Yep.
room.
Yep. Yep.
When I'm in that room with them, they get to see me quite candidly as a black man, an
Mhm.
author. A lot of children don't see people who look like me as authors that are visiting them. They're
Mhm.
meeting the person who wrote the story,
Right.
and they're then also experiencing the story, which is a story that I think all of them, again, no matter their background, no matter where they live, no matter how much money they have, no matter where they're from, they can all relate to in that they can all do something that's kind for someone else
Good.
without even money. And so it's a story that I think resonates with a lot of people. And I think it's a story that our youth need, especially now. And so that's why I've now created that program where there are sponsors and you're willing to support it. If you're listening, you can visit www.soulstir.co, soulstir.co. And there's a program link that you could go into and become a sponsor of the program. Because
Yep.
through those sponsorships are how I basically pay for the books, as well as take care of course, the ability for me to travel across the
Mhm.
country. Because
Mhm.
my one of the beautiful things about me being able to do this, I get to share her story and keep her legacy and memory alive.
Yep.
But I don't think it should just be confined to Milwaukee. I don't think
Correct.
it should just be confined to where I live now in South Bend. I think it's a story that should be shared across ultimately the world, but a minimum across the nation.
Love it.
The part that's not in the book, Preston, and I mean, I don't want to prolong this too much,
You okay?
but the part that's not in the book about Netta is the fact that after her sixth birthday, 3 years later, she was unfortunately murdered.
Sheesh.
And Netta and her mom, my aunt Cheryl, were both murdered. It
What?
was heinous. It was a heinous murder, man. It was her dad actually. So he was Cheryl's ex-boyfriend, and my understanding is that apparently if he couldn't have her, no one could. And so it was a heinous murder. This happened. I was only 5 at the time, and so I didn't really know them. Right? I didn't. I don't have a memory of knowing them, but apparently, like they would pick me up. We would go to the mall when I was a kid. And then one part of the story that I've heard, my mom was telling me this that they actually were going. They came by to pick me up. I think that day,
Oh shoot.
and for some reason, I didn't want to go.
Oh.
Again, this is again, who knows what's legends and stuff where these stories get passed down. But nonetheless, it happened. I was so young, but that's another piece of the story, Preston, that
Okay.
makes this not just about a book. It's not just about me as an author. It is a way to celebrate Netta and her mom's legacy, honor
Yeah.
their memories,
Yeah.
and spread their story as wide as I possibly can. So yes, I need sponsors and I need money to make this and fuel this, but it's not so much for me to be trying to make all this money. It's really
Right.
to share Netta's story. So it's a very mission driven and focused effort to get this story shared as wide as possible to honor her memory. And so we have a program also tied to it where we give away gifts and books. So we do an annual program in my hometown Milwaukee
Okay.
where I work with my dad, who's the co-founder of that program.
Okay.
We distribute Christmas gifts and books to a school that we'll pick or a couple schools that we pick. But for my tour, we don't have Christmas gifts to give out to everyone. So we're just going to
Fair enough.
focus on books. But yeah,
Okay.
everyone's going to get a copy of the book. And we're excited, man. We're kicking it off. Actually, I'll be in Orlando next week. So we're going to visit our first school on the 20th of August here. And we're excited to get it rolling, man. So
Good
we're
deal.
excited about that.
My man. Hey, pull up if you're in Orlando. Make sure you hit me, man, and see if we can connect while you're in town.
Most depth. It's only what? You're 90 miles that way?
Even less, man. It depends. Are you Orlando, or are you Kissimmee side? What kind? Are you Orlando? What
Orlando,
school?
Orlando. I
Okay,
want to
you're
say it's not too far. I'm gonna, man, it's a crazy experience I'm gonna have next week. So I'm going, I think it's called Christ School. I forget the name of it. I think it's called Christ
okay.
School. Nonetheless,
Okay.
though, it's right near the Arnold Palmer Hospital. So
Okay. Yeah, that's
and
Orlando.
near right
Yeah,
around the
that's
McDonald
a
house.
yeah, that's
So,
Orlando. And
yep, so
anything
but
down
eventually the
Interstate,
school visit. Yeah, so with the
yeah,
school visit, I'm going to actually they have a Seacrest Studios
okay,
inside the hospital where Ryan Seacrest has set up these beautiful studios inside children's hospitals, and I'm gonna do a story time there. I'm visiting the school. So I'm
okay,
trying to really share Netta's story as wide as possible. Again,
good.
the school is one channel, but even through hospitals, through all kinds of channels that I'm working on that.
Man, this has been fantastic, Mike. And
Man,
we'll hopefully connect, man. But anybody, if you want to know more about what Mike's got going on, please hit him up. Um, and we appreciate you being a guest on the show, my man,
yeah.
Mike Brown.
I've been watching. I've been watching you, man. I'm thankful to be here. Grateful for this
Yeah,
opportunity. Cause you chop it up with the Florida guys all the time, man. And y'all be talking all this Florida stuff. I'm like, I'm honored to enter the Florida sphere, if you will. And yeah, I'm grateful to be here, man. Thanks for what you're doing and sharing
yeah,
these stories and creating this space for these conversations. And man, thanks for what you're doing too, man. Good luck with all the stuff you got cooking. All these athletes, man. It's like y'all got like four. It's a household of four, pretty much.
yeah.
Could be Olympic
Yeah,
athletes in your house.
hey, me and my wife do pretty well. They're doing good. Very proud of the youngsters. Very proud of my wife. So we're it's a lot of pride that runs through these walls. So I'm very appreciative of where we are currently. So we'll just take it one step at a time, my man. One step at a time.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. Thank you.
My man. I'm out.
All right.